Hello and welcome back to another video of me playing Frosthaven on +3 insane difficulty with 4 player characters. I know in my last video I said I'm going on holiday, but I did have a little bit of time today before I packed my bags, so I thought I'd record something. Maybe we can still have a video release whilst I'm away, so that the channel has some content still. Yeah. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. And in the last video, we played scenario 9, Glowing Catacombs. It was a fun scenario, but unfortunately I made some mistakes, which I've documented in the video, full disclosure. It did mean, for one, the Blinkblade was missing 2 EXP, which may or may not matter. So 2 XP was from when I played Flashing Flurry, which I forgot that even if you don't acquire the extra target, you still get the XP when you play on fast. So 2 XP was missed, and I added a little note here. The other one is slightly more critical. The Ice Race Elite one in the first room should be able to fly over the obstacle and attack us, which I don't think it meant much in terms of how the scenario played out. But it did mean that it was not possible for Drifter to pick up the 2-coined loot card, root token. And that would have been 10 gold. So I think that's actually quite a big difference. So I will be honest and adjust it here. Alright, so I think then let us get into the Outpost phase. So we are now in the last week of summer, so very exciting. We'll have winter very, very soon. And we have lots of sections to read, so let's start with that. So let's look at section 183, con type, 0.3. I think it's 183.3. Yeah, there we go. And let's bring up Foreteller. Let's hope you cooperate. There we go.
Ah, my best customers, eh?
It's the old traveling merchant and his carriage full of items of suspicious origins. He invites you to poke through his inventory.
Same price as before, but even better value. No one's gonna come looking for these, eh?
He doesn't elaborate, and you think better than to press the issue.
Nice, nice. So, if it wasn't for this trader, we would be retiring Blinkblade for sure. And I'm not one for delaying retirement, so that's definitely not my intention. Although we haven't done Blinkblade solo scenario yet, so maybe for prosperity's sake, for content's completeness sake, I will spend some money and try to do the solo scenario for Blinkblade, and then we can probably retire in the following mission. So all the solo, so I mean, on Insane, as you guys have seen, on Insane difficulty, the game was already pretty hard. The solo scenarios are even harder. Some of them are just downright impossible until your characters are fully geared up and caught up. So I was going to delay some of these solo scenarios until a bit later when our characters have geared up a bit more, but given the likelihood of Blinkblade's imminent retirement, I think I will have a stab at doing that today. So, yeah. Anyways, having said that, let's think about what to buy. Here are all the purchase items available. I think for Bannerspear, we'll absolutely be picking up this Warden's Robe. So the Warden's Robe is normally a Bone Shaper item. It says when one of your summons suffers damage from attack, that summon gains 2 shield for the attack. Now, for Bone Shaper, this is a no-brainer, but it is also quite good for Banner, the way we're playing Banner. So, because we get to summon Banners, and very imminently we'll pick up another very good summon, which I'll be using quite a lot. This is actually a surprisingly good item, especially for the scenarios where we don't want to be tanking too much, and we just want to hang back. And Bannerspear now has enough HP to take a critical hit without always needing cured leather armor's protection. So we'll be picking up the Warden's Robe here. For the for Drifter, I would love to pick up a Jagged Sword. Wound is actually a very valuable condition in Frosthaven because of all these shielded enemies and enemies that's immune to poison. Unfortunately, with our gold deduction, we don't have enough gold. I wonder if I should pick up anything here. Maybe let's do Blinkblade first. So Blinkblade will go down to 80. Oh yeah, so retirement happens in the downtime. So you can see here. So retirement happens here. So this is why we're able to spend money before we retire. So yeah, if Blinkblade wants to do this, the solo scenario, we need to pick up Jagged Sword. This is pretty much mandatory, I think, for the solo scenario to ensure we do it. So picking that up here. I think for the other thing is to do the solo scenario, I actually need to get rid of our crew boots and switch over rough boots. So that's gonna be a little bit interesting. So maybe we spend 7 gold here to get a hide. Because we're gonna need hide. We'll pick up a hide from this. But then we're gonna have to sell one of these boots. Probably Drifter will sell here. And we'll switch boots here basically. So given the party has 0 hide currently, I think having a bit of hide on Deathwalker will be helpful. I think maybe Drifter will just pick up, like I said, would love to pick up Jagged Sword, but I just don't think that's gonna be good enough here. Because we don't have the gold. Field Falcon seems pretty bad. Initiative boots will also be quite good. Yeah, I think we'll just pick up Poison Dagger here. You can't go wrong with Poison Dagger. Let's do that. Yeah, I think that's fine. Alright, next Outpost section is 21.4. 21.4. I won't be doing any puzzle book today, I just don't have the time. Especially the next one's quite a chunky puzzle book. I'll probably do that one in the video and come back from my holiday. I'll be pretty happy if I can just get through the solo scenario, and maybe if I have time I'll squeeze in a regular scenario as well. Alright, let's have a look at 21.4.
It's been a summer of adversity, but your decision is made. This outpost at the corner of civilization won't make it through another winter without your assistance. Of course, it's possible they won't make it with you either. But at least you'll find out together. The Quattril mail carrier cinches her bag and plods through the main gate. In her satchel is your final reconnaissance report to the guild at White Oak, detailing the condition of the town, the support it will need to continue, and your decision to stay. With a sober, final thump, the gates of Frosthaven seal shut. The populace barely acknowledge it, but for you, it means you've linked your fate with that of this town.
How ominous. No problem, we like Frosthaven. We are happy to stay. Let's get another prosperity tick. Yeah, await our first winter. I think we're fairly well set up. My morale's not too bad. And we have both of the walls constructed, so yeah, could be worse. 86.1 is next. And let's hope up in Foreteller as well. 86.1.
The crater is as lively as you've seen it all season. You signal for a drink as you push through the customers and make your way to a table at the back, where the Quattril tinkerer Pinter Droman fiddles with a small spherical gadget, deep in thought. You sit down, interrupting his trance.
Oh, hello again. Thank you for coming. Very exciting news to share.
The boisterous Quattril tears his focus from the trinket.
We are on the next phase, our little shortcut through the mountains. Now, a big portion of the path needs to pass under a dangerous overhanging cliff. The work crew is already installing pylons to support the cliff and hold back the rock wall, but
He hesitates.
it seems our path inadvertently cuts too close to Algok's territory. they're not taking kindly to our construction project.
He raises his hand, cutting off the expected suggestion.
Diplomacy isn't an option, I'm afraid. The Olgoks who are attacking belong to a group of bandits, the Horns of Ruin, they call themselves, and they are exclusively interested in destroying and looting our hard work. There's a big attack coming, and the project is in a very vulnerable state. I need you to go protect the pylons we've installed. If you can stop them, it might buy us enough time to get the whole structure pieced together. Once that happens, it will be nearly impossible to destroy.
Sounds good. New scenario 115, and yeah, we'll certainly be looking to do this. And 115 is another scenario in the past, I believe. Yeah, right here. Let's put a little marker here. Alright, so that's all the sections read from Passage of Time. So let's do an outpost event. We're still in summer, so we get to draw our final summer outpost. This is summer outpost number 9. Let's find it. Summer 9. There we go.
I'm trying to explain that's the very root cause of all this. They're not aggressive by nature.
Violet, the local lurker researcher, is pleading on the street with Mayor Sather.
Right. They may have terrifying claws and razor-sharp protrusions because they're peaceful.
Sather is having none of it. Violet is nervously balling up her purple scarf, clearly on the verge of a breakdown.
Please, you have to understand. My research suggests...
Your research suggests the capital is willing to waste resources. Resources that could be better put to use, protecting the people of this outpost from those same lurkers you so desperately want to repaint as benevolent. I'll be confiscating your supplies for the defense effort.
Option A. Come to Violet's aid. There's more to the lurkers. Option B. Back up Sather's assessment. Lurker research is a waste of resources.
Well, given that we have just met a lurker who has joined our party in the shape of Crashing Tide, I think we'll be going with option A here, surely. Yeah, we're good people.
A. You intervene in the heated discussion and provide some reports from the field. Yes, the lurkers can be an impressive adversary, but there are indications there's more to their actions. Violet is visibly relieved at your help. Sather grunts.
Fine. If you think there's value here, introduce her to the guard. But if her crackpot ideas don't pan out, I'm holding it against you lot.
Well, come on, Thassa. Have more faith in our mercenary band here. Okay, Winter Outpost 62 goes into the deck, so we look forward to drawing that at some point. Let's find it first. 62 is here. Let's put it in the active pile. And let's get a review. Alright, so building operations, again, we just have the 3 resource generating camps here, so let's spend the 6 gold. Maybe we take 5 here. I'm not going to take any more gold out of Blinkblade. I do want Blinkblade to retire, so let's just take 6 here maybe. So Blinkblade needs a hide to replace the boots, that we know. Maybe drop a metal here. And then finally a piece of wood here maybe. Even out a little bit. Fine, and then we now have downtime, so let's level up first. So let's start with our Bannerspear. We're now level 7, 345 experience, giving us another perk. So let's add the final +2. So I think pretty much now Banner's got a pretty set deck. I mean, we'll continue to add things, but all of the damaging, the good damaging attack modifiers have now been added. And you can see Banner has a pretty chunky deck, 26 cards. yeah, there's some good cards in here for sure, but the biggest problem with Banner's deck is the fact that you still have a -2, and without the head slot, you'll still have a -1 and a bunch of zeros. So you actually retain quite a lot from the original deck. So it makes Bannerspear, in my opinion, a slightly subpar attack modifier deck character because of the inconsistency that you still get from time to time. And the swing is quite big, because -2 can be quite a big difference. So I'll probably, while I retire these characters, I'll probably do my thought on the character, my experience of the character, and I'll talk in a little bit more detail. So I do think the melee formational banner has a slight advantage on the range Bannerspear from attack modifier deck perspective, just because you get to hit more attack modifiers. And for the cards, we shall be taking... So at level 7 we have two very interesting choices. We have Tri-Thrust, which gives us a repeatable stun attack, but it requires quite an intricate pattern for that to happen. The bottom half is really good. It gives us ability to expunge wind for a target 3 enemies within 2 hexes, but it is only just attack 1. So we'll definitely be taking Lead from Afar here. So Lead from Afar is attack 2, range 4, which is pretty weak, but you could add +2 attack for each ally adjacent to the target. So this could be a massive hit for certain situations. But more importantly, the Longbowman, which is a summon with a range 4 and attack of 2, is not a repeatable summon, but it's a very, very good summon. So we'll be taking Lead from Afar, mostly for the bottom half of the card. And probably at this point in time, Bob will need to come out for our Longbowman here, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, not too much thoughts there. Lead from the Far doesn't look super impressive until you play with it. It is actually a pretty impressive summon. Okay, so I think that's Bannerspear done. Drifter didn't get to level up, a little bit off still, but we did read some names in Outpost phase, so let's take team building down by 1. Yeah, not much to say here. Do have a level up on Blinkblade, so level 6. And let's do the HP first. Unfortunately, this is only jumping by 1. I really do wish if Blinkblade's HP was increasing just a little bit faster, but it's not meant to be. We have quite an interesting choice if we're going to do our solo scenario here. But I do think what we really need is to get more of this rolling. So the solo scenario is still going to be very hard, and very likely I'll be recording multiple times to get the right random generator sequence for me to succeed. Because normally I'd do it much later, but like I said, given Blinkblade's about to retire, maybe I'll just do it now. So yeah, I do need a little bit of luck. And getting this +2 rolling modifier will be super helpful. So let's take that. And cards. So again, if I want to do it on level 6, you have the choice of the Knife's Edge or Stab Them All. And 100% I'll be taking Stab Them All here. This is one of the 2 cards that will enable you to travel sufficient distances to complete the solo scenario. And it's just a good card. Like attack 2, attack 2, attack 1 with 2 moves added in between on fast, plus the XP is great, initiative is wonderful. Bottom half makes it so that, you know, you could combine this with the invisibility card. Where is it? Experimental adjustment. Right, so you can go invisible and then play this bottom half, which means that people who come next to you, you get to hit it out of invisibility. So that's pretty good too. So we'll be taking this. And the card we'll be getting rid of, probably, I mean, I'll sort out the cards in a second, because we're going to need some specialized cards just for the solo scenario. But yeah, let's do that. Here, level 6 as well. And we're now on HP 11. Pretty low, unfortunately, still. And for perk, I think we will just continue to remove our zeros here for the curses. Yeah, Just more consistency will be better. And I really like cursing, so there it is. Level 6 for the Deathwalker is also fairly good. We have the choice between Night Takes Shape, which is a summon, but it requires you to get rid of 2 shadows. It's a pretty decent summon, and it has disadvantage on it, so it can survive quite a few hits. Bottom half is also really good. You can move a shadow up 3 hexes to an unoccupied hex, and then you can teleport over there, and then remove it and gain an EXP and do attack 3. So it's actually a pretty good replacement for where is it? For Forceful Spirit, which we're taking primarily for target. So this allows you to move the shadow and then target and then teleport. But unfortunately, you have to remove the shadow. So if it wasn't for that, I'd probably be taking this card. Vengeful Storm is a range for attack 3, which is not that impressive. But it gives us the ability to remove shadow within range 3 and add a target. So sorely lacking from our Deathwalker is the multi-target attack, so we'll be taking Vengeful Storm here. Bottom half is decent. It allows you to stun everything within range 1 of a shadow. And it doesn't require you to be in line of sight, because just a shadow needs to be in line of sight. So yeah, this is also pretty good. Bottom half is a emergency break glass button when the team needs it. You're probably seeing already on this difficulty level, I rarely play lost cards just because we just don't typically have enough stamina anyway. Like most of the monsters can't be gunned down in 1 round, and it just takes much longer to complete the game on insane +3 difficulty. So yeah, lost card has to be really, really good for me to consider it. And this bottom half is actually one of those I would consider from time to time. Alright, so I think that's all the leveling up. So retire characters, unfortunately Blinkblade doesn't meet the condition anymore due to our market manipulation, so we'll leave it there. Item crafting, so I think we said we need to get rid of this, so I think this is the first time we're selling an item. And when you sell an item, if you didn't know, so item from the pool can be sold during downtime. When you gain, you must sell. When you have a duplicate, you must sell it. But otherwise, when you sell it, you gain gold equal to half the gold cost, round it down. Or when you sell a craftable item, you just get 2 gold for each resource required to craft it. So we'll be saying goodbye to our crude boots. That'll give us 4 gold. The reason we do that is because, well, I've said before, crude boot is really good with head start, because you can apply the +1 immediately at the beginning, so you can move 4. But for the solo scenario, we actually need rough boots. So here we'll also be setting, I think, yeah, Drifter's rough boots, also for 4 gold, because it's 2 crafting materials. So both of these then go back into the asset to the shop. It is a shame that you can't just switch item around in Frosthaven. I understand why they have it, but it just makes this operation so much more complicated. Oh, sorry, I need to keep this. What am I doing? Drifter needs to sell, which I added the 4 gold. And then Blinkblade can then craft this with extra hide, which we have. And then this then go back into the supply pool. So the reason I do this is because Rough Boots says during your turn, add +1 move to all your move abilities. So this doesn't actually apply to Head Start, because Head Start it applies the start of your turn, not during your turn. But the +1 move to all your move abilities apply to cards like Stab Maul. So this becomes attack 2, move 3, attack 2, move 3, then attack 1. And that's going to be very, very crucial for us. What else would I like to craft here? Maybe we set aside our construction first, as usual. So I think here we want to construct the sled. So 3 wood, 2 metal, and 1 hide. I believe we only have the 1 hide here left. So 3, 2, 1, right? So maybe take 1 here. I need 2 wood, maybe 1 from here. So that's our 3 wood, 1 hide. Maybe 1 metal here, and then 1 metal here. There we go. Oops. Alright, let's drop that in the supply for now. 3 wood, 2 metal and 1 hide. And that will allow us to construct the sled later. Alright. What else do we want to make here? Unfortunately, we don't have enough herbs for potions. So I think we'll have a rock root. 2 rock roots. And that's it. Let's put that in the supply box. So we have 2 rock roots and 3 corpse cap, which is unfortunate because we have all of the stone skin potions already. And we don't really want any more healthy mixtures for now. So yeah, we have to wait to pick up some other herbs to make more potions. What else do we want? And I think we said we'll sell the leather armor now, so we set up to sell that for 7 gold. Don't need it since we have cured leather armor here. I think everything else we can just keep for now on the banner. Don't think there's anything in particular I want to buy on the banner. No, I can't really see anything worthwhile. What about our drifter? We don't have hides to make boots, so unfortunately wing boot it is for now. Got enough weapons. Helm. I actually still think Amulet of Life is good. I mean, we do have 2 metals, so we could potentially craft crude chain armor. No, I think it's okay for now. I think we're happy with our current setup. Here, I think there's probably an argument to make the simple charm now. For... where is it? Here. For Blinkblade. Not for the solo mission. But for the times when we... just because the time for the self-heal on the poison from power leak is basically over, because you could probably see from last scenario, I much prefer playing Flashing Flurry than power leak. So we can probably improve the attack modifier a little bit with simple charm here. I wish I had more potions, but I don't, so it is what it is. Yeah, I don't think there is anything else to do here, so I think we'll just call it a day here. For crafting, unfortunately. Not too exciting. Okay. I think that means all we have left now is construction, and we've set aside the resources. 3, 2, 1. Let's get rid of that and let's construct our sled. So this allows to read 169.2. So yeah, a lot of section reading today. And let's see what that says.
With the sled complete, you can now safely venture farther out into the tundra. Captain Olmsted joins you for a test run on a borrowed scouting sled from the town guard, and you can't help but enjoy the taste of the crisp morning air. The captain eyes the next hill and gives a wry smile.
Your new sled might outmatch the design of mine, but there's no substitute for experience.
He cracks his neck.
Let's make it interesting. First that tree line over there buys the next round.
Before you have a chance to agree, or even spot the tree line in question, Olmsted has egged his dogs on down the hill. You push off in pursuit, but by the time you make it to the tree line, your competition is nowhere to be seen. Then you spot him. Seated on a log just inside the shelter of the snowy tree canopy is Captain Olmsted, sharing a canteen of water with his panting sled dogs.
Glad we understand there's still a thing or two you mercenaries can learn from this old timer.
I want some sled dogs for pets. So we get a sled outpost sticker. Let's unlock it now. So it's actually here. There we go. and we can now do sledding events, or sledding missions. So I think that is, where is it? Number 10 is now available. And I think that's it. Yep, so let's mark it on the map. Number 10 is here. Cool. And we also get extra prosperity, which is nice, because unlocking level 3 will be very critical, and we want to unlock it as soon as possible. Alright, you can go back now. Everything's done, so all that's left now is to do the solo scenario, like I said. So I'm gonna set it up and talk a little bit about it in this video. So let's hide all of our characters that's not participating for now. So yeah, the solo scenarios are not always balanced around the +3 difficulties. I will try to do them all on +3, but like I said, some of them you really just have to wait until your character is more geared up, and sometimes you just don't have the time because your characters will be retired before that has happened. But yeah, we will absolutely give Blinkblade a try. Blinkblade is one of those you can sort of do it, even on a slightly ungeared character. So yeah, let's take a look. So I guess before anything, let's read the scenario introduction first. So, race against the clock. Scenario go. The scenario is complete when all enemies are dead at the end of that round. Read the conclusion. So simple. We kill everything. And let's read the foreteller introduction together.
You've long desired to study unfettered tech. So when you hear of a spooked traveler stumbling upon one of their underground lairs, you're eager to follow his directions. Some miles to the east, you uncover the metal ruins buried in a snow embankment. The ice has eroded the roof, creating a crack beneath an eave. Not the type to barge in the front door anyway, you drop in surreptitiously. And immediately trigger a blaring alarm. Soon you're assaulted by uncanny machines, pyramidal crab-like ones which shoot bolts from all sides, and ancient scrap metal fabrications intent upon crushing you. You could flee, abandoning your mission, but that alarm has now morphed into the ominous sound of clock ticking, as though counting down something, and your curiosity is piqued even more. As someone who lives on the cusp of time, the most merciless power in the world, you're accustomed to bearing your teeth at risk. Besides, this place and its treasures might self-destruct if you don't reach the central chamber in time.
Self-destruct is exactly the name of the game here. So, special rules: place 6 damage token next to the map. I'm not going to use tokens, I'm just going to use one of these trackers here. So, let's put that to 6. Okay. And then it says, at the start of each round in which you declare slow, remove 1 damage token. If the scenario is not completed by the end of the round, in which the last damage token is removed, the scenario is lost. So basically you can only declare slow 6 times. And so that's the challenge here. And then when all enemies in this room are dead, read section 1. And we can see section 1 already, so this is not really a spoiler per se. The whole point of this scenario is you get to see everything in advance, then you see what happens. So I won't read it, but suffice to say, when you kill everything in the first room, this door opens. And then you are not allowed to jump across here with any jump boots, nor are you allowed to teleport across. So you actually have to run the whole gamut across this chamber, or you have to fight these cannons, which will be crazy. So what you really want to do then is kill everything, then do something to run across here, and when you open this door, all the cannons die. So you can see here, the artillery is immune to damage, so you actually can't kill them, and force movements, you can't push them either. And no part of any jump, movement, or teleport can get you through here. So what you actually have to do is kill everything in this room, run across here in a U-shaped loop, open this door, then kills everything, then take on the boss. So that's a lot of things to do for our little Blinkblade here. But we have a plan. And the plan is we discard the heavy sword. Oh, actually, sorry. We discard heavy sword for the jagged sword, and we discard a poison dagger for the heavy sword. I think that's the loadout I most like. Yeah, I think that's the loadout I most like, and we need this boots, 100% for this. And yeah, we also need an Amulet of Life. As much as I would like to take Symbol Charm here, Amulet of Life is very important. Okay, let's look at the cards. So Bully, kill enemy that has 2 more negative conditions. Straggler, Dynamo. I mean, maybe we try Dynamo. We definitely will be short resting here, so Straggler is not an option. Kill enemy has 2 more negative. We'll be putting Wound down the enemy for sure, so maybe that could be possible. Dynamo. If we want to do Bully, then maybe I need to take Poison Dagger. I mean, we're not fighting artillery, so we can ignore these. Ruin Machine is immune to poison, which is why Poison Dagger is not very good here. But Wound is very, very important, and then the boss is immune to poison and disarm, so that's why wounding. That's why I'm taking the Wounding Sword, because it's absolutely very important to wound these guys and let them take down themselves. The Robotic Bowshooter is immune to wound, but not immune to poison, which makes the Poison Dagger somewhat helpful if I want to do Bully. But then I need to be able to hit one of my Immobilize card. 1 out of 19 to hit Immobilize card for that to happen. There's no other way of me inflicting conditions on them. I guess maybe I'm thinking about the wrong way. I'll be just happy just to do the scenario, to be honest. So yeah, I think I won't be doing Bully here. Maybe we can try Dynamo. And if I'm trying to do Dynamo, maybe I just take my heavy sword for the extra damage. Something like this. Okay. Cards. Right. So this scenario requires a very specific way of doing it. So Blurry Jab has to come out. Not because it's a bad card. Just because what we want to do is kill everything fast, then do a whole bunch of moves with bottom half of double time, allowing us to trigger the move effects twice. So the kinetic transfer is definitely not needed. Actually be taking a drive recharge because we need to gain the time token to allow us not to declare slow. And then Standing Hourglass is not useful. We'll actually be taking temporal displacement because the extra attack 2 here is pretty important. Maybe I do take Poison Dagger actually, because we can. I don't know. It's always questionable what's the right thing to do here. Let's try this. If I need to change it, I'll change it. I think everything else is okay. Yeah, so this will be my setup. I won't go through the strategy just yet. I'll talk through the strategy as I play the scenario. I mean, ideally I have like a muscle potion, which would be really good, or a power potion even. Unfortunately, the power potion's with our Deathwalker, but that's okay. We will take the challenge. I don't think it really matters where Blinkblade starts, so we'll just start here. Obviously, we start with 1 token as well. Okay, so I think that's it. I'll cut here, and in the next video, we'll challenge the solo scenario for Blinkblade. So thanks for watching. See you soon.